Everyone thought it was just another peaceful dinner between the members, until Taehyung suddenly couldn't keep his hands off Jin. While the others were busy eating and talking, Taehyung stayed incredibly close to Jin the entire time, watching him, leaning toward him, even wrapping his arm around him like he didn't want anyone else interrupting their moment. But then something happened that completely shocked fans. Out of nowhere, Taehyung gently pinched Jin's lips while staring at him with the softest expression ever, and Jin's reaction instantly made the moment even more intense. Armies are now losing their minds trying to figure out what was really going on between them during this dinner. Was Taehyung just teasing Jin, or was this one of their most unexpectedly romantic moments ever caught on camera? The atmosphere inside the dining room initially looked calm and ordinary. The members were gathered around the table, focusing on their food, casually spending time together after what seemed like a long and exhausting schedule. The cameras captured a warm and peaceful moment, nothing unusual at first glance. But fans quickly noticed that Taehyung's attention was never truly on the meal, the conversation, or anyone else around him. Again and again, his eyes drifted back toward Jin. Even while the others continued eating naturally, Taehyung stayed unusually close beside him, leaning in every few seconds as if completely drawn into Jin's presence. It was subtle at first, almost easy to miss unless someone paid close attention. But the longer the moment continued, the harder it became to ignore the tension quietly building between them. Fans immediately began replaying the clip repeatedly after noticing the way Taehyung kept watching Jin's face. There was something strangely soft and affectionate in his expression, something that felt far more personal than a casual interaction between friends sitting at the same table. Every movement seemed careful, instinctive, almost protective. Then came the moment that completely exploded across social media. Without warning, Taehyung moved even closer and gently pinched Jin's lips while looking directly at him. The action lasted only seconds, but for fans, those few seconds felt unforgettable. The atmosphere instantly shifted. What had started as a simple dinner suddenly became one of the most talked about moments among armies online. People could not stop analyzing Jin's reaction afterward. Some noticed how Jin froze for a brief moment before looking away. Others focused entirely on Taehyung's expression, claiming he looked strangely satisfied after teasing Jin so openly in front of everyone else. Even though the rest of the members continued eating normally, fans felt like the entire energy around Taehyung and Jin had changed. The clip spread rapidly across multiple platforms within hours. Screenshots, slowed edits, emotional background music, and reaction videos flooded timelines almost immediately. Many fans admitted they initially thought the moment was edited because of how unexpectedly intimate it looked. But after watching the original footage again, people became even more convinced that the chemistry between them felt impossible to ignore. What shocked fans even more was how natural Taehyung appeared during the entire interaction. There was no hesitation in the way he leaned toward Jin, no awkwardness when touching him so casually. Instead, everything felt comfortable, familiar, almost like a habit built over years of closeness. That detail alone sent countless fans into emotional discussions online. Some armies described the moment as one of the softest interactions they had ever seen between the two. Others believed Taehyung looked especially clingy that day, constantly finding reasons to stay near Jin despite the crowded table. The smallest gestures suddenly became important to fans, the distance between them, the lingering eye contact, the way Taehyung's attention never fully left Jin even while surrounded by the others. As more people continued examining the footage frame by frame, theories began spreading everywhere. Some believed Taehyung was simply being playful, while others insisted there was a deeper emotional meaning hidden behind the moment. The uncertainty only made the clip even more viral. Nobody seemed able to fully explain why the interaction felt so intense, yet millions of fans could feel it immediately the moment they watched it. What made the scene even more unforgettable was the contrast between the rest of the room and the energy surrounding Taehyung and Jin. Around them, dinner continued normally. Conversations carried on. Plates moved around the table. But in the middle of that ordinary setting, fans felt like Taehyung and Jin were somehow existing in their own private world for those brief seconds. That single lip pinch became one of the most replayed moments from the gathering. Not because it was dramatic or loud, but because it felt unexpectedly intimate in such a quiet way. The softness of the gesture combined with Taehyung's expression afterward left fans emotionally overwhelmed. Many admitted they could not stop thinking about the clip long after watching it. The emotional impact only grew stronger as fan edits continued circulating online overnight. Slow-motion videos emphasized every glance and every tiny reaction, making the tension feel even more cinematic. Emotional captions describing hidden affection, unspoken closeness, and undeniable chemistry quickly dominated comment sections everywhere. For many fans, it was not simply about one playful action during dinner anymore. It became about the feeling behind it, the comfort, warmth, and attention Taehyung showed toward Jin so naturally without even seeming aware of how deeply people would react to it later. And perhaps that is exactly why this moment exploded the way it did. Because sometimes the quietest gestures create the loudest emotions. As the video continued circulating across social media, fans began noticing even smaller details that had been overlooked during the first watch. The more people replayed the dinner scene, the more intense the atmosphere between Taehyung and Jin seemed to become. What originally looked like a brief, playful interaction suddenly felt layered with emotions that nobody could fully explain. The dinner itself was supposed to be simple. Just another ordinary gathering captured on camera. Yet somehow, Taehyung and Jin unintentionally became the center of attention without even trying. Even during moments when nothing dramatic was happening, fans still felt drawn toward them because of the quiet emotional tension that lingered between them throughout the entire scene. What made the moment even more unforgettable was the timing. Taehyung did not seem concerned about the cameras around them or the other members sitting nearby. The way he naturally reached toward Jin's face and pinched his lips carried a level of comfort that instantly shocked viewers. It felt spontaneous, instinctive, almost impossible to fake. Fans immediately began discussing whether the moment revealed something deeper about their relationship behind the scenes. Theories spread rapidly across online communities, with countless people analyzing every frame for hidden reactions and unspoken emotions. Some focused on Jin's brief expression afterward, claiming he looked caught off guard for a split second before trying to return to normal. Others became obsessed with Taehyung's gaze, insisting it carried an unusual amount of affection during the interaction. The emotional impact only intensified when slowed-down edits began appearing everywhere. Soft background music, dramatic captions, and zoomed-in reactions transformed the short clip into something that felt almost cinematic. Millions of viewers suddenly became emotionally attached to a moment lasting only a few seconds. What fascinated fans the most was how naturally Taehyung stayed physically close to Jin throughout the dinner. Even before the lip pinch happened, he had already been leaning toward him repeatedly, resting comfortably beside him as though being near Jin was where he felt most relaxed. Those tiny details created a much bigger emotional picture once people started connecting everything together. Soon, fan comments flooded every platform. Many admitted the clip gave them butterflies because of how unexpectedly intimate the interaction felt. Others said the tension between Taehyung and Jin completely distracted them from everything else happening in the room. Some fans even confessed they replayed the video dozens of times because the chemistry felt impossible to process after only one watch. As the clip gained even more attention, people started comparing it to previous moments between the two over the years. Old videos resurfaced online, showing similar gestures, lingering glances, quiet smiles, and moments where Taehyung appeared especially affectionate toward Jin. Fans began connecting all those memories together, creating emotional compilations that quickly went viral across multiple platforms. The deeper fans looked into their interactions, the more emotional the discussion became. Many believed the dinner clip stood out because it captured something unusually genuine. There was no dramatic setting, no performance, no planned fan service. Just a quiet dinner table, warm lighting, casual conversation in the background, and one unexpectedly soft interaction that managed to shake the entire fandom overnight. Even people who rarely paid attention to subtle member interactions found themselves unable to ignore the atmosphere surrounding the moment. There was something undeniably emotional about the way Taehyung looked at Jin afterward, as if he briefly forgot the cameras were even there. That tiny detail alone became one of the most discussed parts of the entire clip. Meanwhile, the mystery behind Jin's reaction continued fueling endless speculation online. Some fans believed he looked shy after the sudden gesture. Others thought he seemed secretly amused. But nobody could fully agree, which only made the moment more addictive to watch repeatedly. The uncertainty kept fans emotionally invested because everyone saw something slightly different hidden inside those few seconds. As hours turned into days, the clip refused to disappear from timelines. Instead, it became even bigger. Popular fan accounts posted emotional breakdowns of the interaction. Video edits reached massive numbers overnight. Comments describing Taehyung and Jin's chemistry filled every corner of social media. Even casual viewers who were unfamiliar with the group became curious after seeing people react so strongly to such a brief moment. The emotional weight behind the scenes seemed to grow with every replay. What started as a simple dinner interaction slowly transformed into one of those unforgettable moments fans would continue discussing for a very long time. Not because anyone openly explained it, but because the emotions inside the clip felt strangely real. And perhaps that was what made it so dangerous for fans emotionally. There was no confirmation, no explanation, no dramatic statement. Just one lingering touch, one soft look, and a silence powerful enough to make millions of people completely lose control over their emotions.